1921. There was no electricity at that time, there was no airplane. I believe that Mr. James Madison was the 4th president of the United States only. Beethoven was writing the 7th, and Franz Liszt, along with Napoleon II, were born. So of course it's charged with a lot of history, and I was humbling by this when I received that bottle on Tuesday. First of all, because I always knew that I had Napoleon's height, but now I know that I have something from his reign, and it's a little bit humbling. However, this bottle was purchased with two ideas in mind. The first one was because I've always been a fan of Yquem. I've never been a wine collector, so to speak. We are sommeliers. I see my dear friend Max Bruno here, Stéphane Soret, and all the gang from the Raffles, Yquem and his fellow sommeliers, by the way, for which I really thank for all their support in doing this little gathering, this organization, for everything. Thank you very much, first of all. But because there are a few people who are in the wine trade here and sommelier by trade, a sommelier is not a collector. A sommelier is a wine drinker, right? Absolutely. So this bottle was never purchased with an idea of investment in mind, although it is clearly an investment. And I never knew when I purchased the bottle January 18 that it was the most expensive bottle of white wine ever sold. It is Stephen Williams who told me and made me aware of this 2 weeks later. However, it is for sure the most expensive bottle of wine I have ever bought. That's for sure. But having said that, it was twofold. Number one, I am a fan of Yquem for many years. I've always maintained a decent wine cellar when I was living in France, but also in the United States. And I knew Le Comte de l'Ursalus for many years when I was at Tour d'Argent with my fellow sommeliers. We visited Yquem very often. He was really loved the sommelier people. We thoroughly enjoyed his company when we went to Yquem at least once a year. And so it was a natural for me when I decided to create some attention for the second operation we are opening on Monday, called Sip Sunset Grill, which will feature probably the most comprehensive and largest wine cellar in Indonesia. I wanted to create something for that reason which could captivate the attention, to show the personality of the restaurant as a wine eater, and also to have guests on the long term, which could be touched by the curiosity of seeing this bottle. In other words, for the bottle to be really the focal point of the restaurant dining room. It will be featured, incidentally, in a showcase, a bulletproof showcase, 60 by 40 by 50, in air conditioning environment, humidity controlled also. It will be a little Fort Knox, literally, which will be in plain view of the restaurant patrons, but not too much, not too obvious. We don't want this to be so obvious. So the bottle for me had also that meaning, but it was important to find a vintage which was relevant to the quality of Yquem. Now, of course, there are many Yquem vintages which are tremendous, but 1811 bears a particularity. It is called the year of the comet. The Halley's comet passed around above Earth at that time, and in exactly 6 years, it will be in 2017. It will be open at La Tour d'Argent. This is symbolic for me. I would like to do that during a dinner where I will be in attendance, hopefully, with my wife Agnes, my brother, my two very best friends, Mr. Stephen Williams himself, André Terrail, the son of the late Claude, for whom I worked for at that time, and David Ridgway, the chef sommelier at Tour d'Argent, who replaced me when I left at Tour d'Argent. I know already the menu, and this wine will be open at that time because it will mark the 50th year since I started at La Tour d'Argent. I started in 1967.